Okay. So what we're going to do today is, so we got 4 responses for the assignment, yesterday's assignment. Sorry, 7 responses. We got 7 responses. So I've picked out 4 of those responses, and I was thinking I'll, play them, and we can sit and discuss about those videos. So just give me a second. I'll just share my screen. Just let me know if you all are able to hear the sound.
Hello everyone. Today I am going to show you the
Okay.
demonstration of
So I'll just start from the beginning.
Hello everyone. Today I am going to show you the demonstration of this model, which is known as pencil spinner model. Let me show you this model. So in this model I have made 6 slots which are going till the depth of the graphite. So when I applied some vibration to the pencil, so the vibration goes to the graphite rod, which is passed till the board pin, and which makes the vibration to rotate this cardboard piece. So this is how this model works. So the dependent variables of this model are the time taken till the rotation is moving on, and the speed of the rotation of this cardboard piece. The some independent variables are the size of the pencil stick, the number of slots we have made, and the size of the ice cream sticks. I hope you have enjoyed this model demonstration. So thank you.
Okay, so this was Karthik Hansal's video. Karthik, are you here today?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Oh, okay.
Sir,
Okay.
I was Natik.
Sorry.
Sir, I am Natik.
Oh, sorry. I said your name wrong. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Uh, okay. 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 I'm so sorry. So Naitik. So yeah, what I liked about your video is that you had identified the dependent and independent variables correctly. The only thing that I sort of wanted to say was, um, the point of the video was not just to sort of explain how the model worked, but it was also to demonstrate by changing your independent variables and how they affect the dependent variables. So you identified the independent variables as, um, just let me remember, the number of holes that you can
Length
make,
of the pencil,
length of the pencil, and the number of holes you can make in
size of the
the,
ice cream stick.
oh, size of the ice cream stick. Okay, 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 okay. Okay, and your dependent variables were this, how long the piece of paper rotates and its speed. So
Yes.
what you could have done while making the video is you could have changed one of the independent variables and shown how the speed changed, or shown how the time taken for the rotation changed. That's the only like that was sort of the main part of the assignment, which is to like not just explain the model, but also show how when you change the independent variables, the dependent variables also change. So, but otherwise, like, good effort. Thanks for sending in the response. Okay, I'll play the next video. Just give me 1 minute. Um, this was submitted by, sorry, I'm not sure who this was submitted by. I will just check that and come. So this was sent by Ka Kataria Gauri, is that your name? Kataria Gauri, are you here today?
Yes, sir.
Yeah? Okay, okay. I'll just play a video. Just give me a second.
Good afternoon, teachers. I am Gauri Kataria of class 8A. I study in Beauty Buaran Public School, Bina, District Sagar, Madhya Pradesh. So, this is my water spray model. So, the independent variables in this model is foam. Instead of foam, we can use matchstick box, and we can cut it in square, and we can use it over here to make 90-degree angle. And dependent variables are straw. In place of straw, we can use the empty pens without refill, and water. In place of water, we can also use any liquid which has the density same as of water. Thank you.
Okay. So, Gauri, I just want to ask, could you, in your own words, just explain what you think independent and dependent variables are?
Independent variables are those in which we can make some changes, and
Okay.
dependent variables are those which can be measured or observed.
Okay. So you had identified the foam piece as an independent variable and the straws as dependent variable, right? In this model.
Yes, sir.
Can you explain the reasoning behind that?
Foam, I identified foam as independent variable because in place of foam, we can also use a matchstick box, which will also work.
Okay.
And for dependent variable as straw, because we will take any hollow material like a pen, which is without refill, we can also use that.
Okay.
I think so.
Okay. So what I would like, my response to that actually would be, um, you've identified the independent and dependent variables wrong. I mean, I don't mean to be so blunt, but in the sense that the reason why you're right, we can use a matchbox instead of foam, you can use thermocol, but the whole point of, using the foam or using a matchbox in this case is to just give it the angle. So had you mentioned the angle as an independent variable, that would have been more sort of realistic or scientific. By changing sort of the foam piece to a matchbox, it doesn't cause any change in the dependent variables at all. Like the shape is retained, the 90-degree shape that is retained. But had you mentioned a change in the angle, that would have been more accurate because that's a variable that you can change and it will cause a change in other dependent variables. So that's one point I want to bring up. And the second thing I want to bring up is straw and say a pencil refill are not dependent variables, mostly because by changing, say, the foam piece, it does not affect the straw, it does not affect the pen empty sort of pen cover. So you understood the concepts correctly, which is that independent variables are variables that you can change and dependent variables are the ones that you can observe or measure. But I think you've identified them wrong here. So like in any model, just when you're sort of going about doing it or trying to understand what the dependent and independent variables are, always look at them in relation to each other. What are the independent variables that I can change, which will affect the dependent variables? Is that fine?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Thank you for your response. Let's go to the next one. I think this is by Avi Vij. Avi, are you here today? Yes, I can see your name. Are you able to unmute yourself? Avi?
Yeah, I asked him to unmute.
Okay.
I don't know if it's there or if he's there or not.
Okay,
Go
okay.
ahead.
I'll play the video then.
Hi everyone, myself Avi Vij from Class 10 RYSI, Lotus Valley International School, Noida. And today I'm going to demonstrate an activity of making a water spray, and after that test the independent variables and change them, and find what its effect is on the dependent variables of the activity. So let's begin. So the materials we require for this activity are as follows: a foam piece, 2 small straws, a beaker of water, and a tape. Now, using a scale and a pen, mark a distance of 3 mm from the top of the straw. Now, put tape below the 3 mm mark on both straws. Now, paste both the straws on the foam piece somewhat in this manner. Be careful to note that one of the straws should half block the nozzle of the other straw, like this. This is a beaker containing water, and now I would dip my half blocked straw in this beaker. Let's see what happens. No water is coming out. Now I'll dip the unblocked straw in the beaker. Now let's see what happens. Did you see that? Water was spraying from the straw. Now let me bend the straw and perform the same experiment. Please note that I am bending the block straw through which I will blow the air. So now let me explain what happened. In the second case, where without bending any straw, I put the unblocked straw inside the water and blew into the blocked straw. Then the water came out. So this means that this was a successful experiment. Then I varied the positioning of the straws and put the unblocked straw in the water. Then did you see that water didn't come out? This means that here the independent variable was how the straw positioned among themselves, and the dependent variable was the amount of water coming out. Then the straw through which I was blowing through, I bent that straw a little and the water came out, but after I had to apply a lot of force. This means that when I blow through that straw, the air goes, but some of the air is absorbed by the area by which it is bending, but most of it gets deflected. Therefore, the phenomenon is caused and the water is sprayed. Here, the independent variable is the angle of the first straw, which in this case was an obtuse angle, not a straight line, and the dependent variable was the amount of water that came out through it. So this was it for this experiment. Thanks for watching.
Okay. Avi, are you here? Are you able to unmute
Yes,
yourself?
sir. Yes, sir. I'm here.
Okay.
Actually, I wasn't
Really
able to.
good video. Would you say love the effects that you had put in the video. What I want to say is congratulations on identifying the independent and dependent variables correctly, and also you did the assignment correctly, which was you had to change two independent variables and see how they affected the dependent variables, which you were able to show very nicely. Just one small mistake you had made during your explanation, which was um, when you were explaining how you had changed the positions of the straw. I think you mentioned that you had put the unblocked straw in and water didn't come out, but that's fine. I think the message got across. But yeah, would you like to say anything about the model or the video that you had made?
Thank you, sir. So that mistake I made, sorry, I didn't notice it while making.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't have to add anything.
Okay. 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 Tanish, you've raised your hand. Do you wanna say something? I think you have the ability to unmute yourself.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Sir, I want to tell that yesterday, due to exam, I could not upload that video online. So, may I share
Okay.
that
Sorry, what?
the experiment, the independent and dependent variables.
What about it? You couldn't send the video yesterday, so sorry, I can't figure out what you're saying. You couldn't send it yesterday, and
Yes, sir. So
you wanna send it now, is what you're saying?
Yes, I want to show it live now.
Oh, okay. So I have one more video to show, and then how about you show it after that? Is that fine?
Okay, sir.
Let the child share the link on the chat window and you can play it.
Have you recorded the video, or will you be sort of showing the experiment live?
Sir, I would be showing the experiment live. I could not record the video.
Okay. Okay.
Shall we do it at the end of the session then? Because we have some things to cover. Unless you take only 2 minutes or 3 minutes. Then you can do it.
Ma'am, it will take 2 to 3 minutes.
Okay.
Okay. I'll just play the fourth and final video. Just give me a second, guys.
Sir, even I was not being able to send the video. Can I just record it today and send it tomorrow?
Yes. Please record and send. We will go through it and we'll send you feedback in the next few days. Okay?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
I'm just trying to figure out who has sent the next one. Myra Maheshwari, are you here today? Myra Maheshwari. Okay, so
yes, I just wanted to point one thing out.
Yeah.
So in the video, in the end, the sound got cut in the last. So please ignore.
Okay. Okay. Oh wait, you guys, I haven't shared my screen. Sorry, I thought I'd already shared. Just give me a second. Okay.
Good morning, everyone. Today, I have made a hydraulic crane right here. It is based on the principle, or basically law, of the French scientist Blaise Pascal. So the independent variables that I spotted in this experiment are the size of the syringe, the length of the pipe, and the amount of water present. So the dependent variables here is basically the sideways movement of the crane and the upward and downward movement of the crane. So Blaise Pascal's law on liquid pressure stated that whenever external pressure is applied to a liquid that is in a container, which is the syringe here, the pressure is transferred undiminished and equally in all directions. So here I'm going to change some of the independent variables to see the output that is produced and how it is affecting the dependent variable. So this is my arrangement of the hydraulic crane. If I pull the plunger of this empty syringe, Then the pressure from this syringe will, liquid pressure from this syringe will get transmitted to this one, and now this syringe is full and there's downward movement. And now if I push the plunge of this syringe, then there's upward movement and the pressure from this syringe is getting transferred to this one. And the same is observed when I pull this syringe and push this syringe back again. So now if I change one of the independent variables, that is the amount of water in the syringe, first I'll pull this. Now right now this syringe is full. Now I'm going to reduce the amount of water in this. And this syringe has this much water only now. And now when I attach it back again, then there is less movement than before. So the dependent variable, that is the upward and the downward movement, it is getting affected because I changed the independent variable. Now if I refill this again,
Yeah, I think you were like you said, it stopped prematurely.
yeah, the sound got cut.
Okay. So yeah, that was a really cool experiment, and you identified the independent and dependent variables correctly. And yeah, that was a really cool video. It was what do you say? Very well demonstrated. And I don't have anything to add for the video. Do you have anything you'd like to talk about your experiment?
Not really, but thank you for the feedback.
Okay. Over to you, Lakshmi or Deepa. Is Lakshmi here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay.
Shall I share the screen?
Yes, so children are beautiful. You have been with us for the last 3 days. Today is the 4th day. And in this process, we have been going through with you the 2 parts of doing any science experiment. One is the concept behind the experiment, and the other is the creative or innovative part of it. So we have been trying to get you few steps, few methods through which you can probably do the innovative and creative part. Concepts, any teacher can explain to you, a book you can read and understand, and that is taken care of. But when it comes to innovation and creativity, if I do something, that will be my innovation and creativity. But what we are trying to get here is you to do the innovation and creation, right? So for that, there are a few methods which we will be getting you familiar with, and that can help you to get into that mode of innovating and creating something. Okay, so yes, Lakshmi, please share the screen. So before we get started, we will look at some examples and try to understand what is there. Yes. So the first and foremost, I would like to ask you one question. Most of you must have had bread with sauce, bread with sometimes with some liquid like milk or coffee, tea, dip it in that and had it. But have you ever tried having bread with curd anytime? You can respond in the chat window. No. Okay. I'm just seeing if any yeses come. Okay. How would it taste? Good, bad? Okay. So let's move to the next part, next example. Most of the times you have North Indian dishes like paneer masala and any paneer dish with roti or chapati, right? But have you ever tried having it with dosa?
Yes, ma'am,
And
I've done.
okay, how does it taste? Good, bad?
Miss, it tastes
Super.
good.
Okay, okay. So this is a totally different kind of like mixture that we are doing, right? Not the one that we usually do. So I'm just trying to draw your attention to a few points, and then we will come to the uh, discussion of what we want to get to. Now, look at this picture. Suppose, imagine that you're going on a trek to the Himalayas and your shoe sole gets torn. What would you do? You can respond in the chat window again. Okay, Akshat
Ma'am,
Gupta
can you
says
come
he has
again with the
tried.
question?
Uh, yeah, if at all you are going on a trek to the Himalayas and your shoe sole gets torn, what would you do in such a situation? Gum to paste it. Okay. Before that, yes, Akshat Gupta said he has not tried paneer but has tried Manchurian dosa. Okay. Yes. So you would use plastic bag from backpack as a quick fix. Okay. We'll remove our shoes and walk in case there is no spare. Oh, you'll walk barefoot on the ice. How? What would be the condition of your toe and feet? Okay. Spare shoes. See, when you're going on a trek to the Himalayas, you usually carry much less than even all the needed items. Okay. So taking a shoe there, or thinking of getting a like some shop where you can buy another shoe, that is not an option, right? Try use cardboard. How cardboard will get wet in the
Can use the bark of the tree, like
bark of the tree if
and
there is
slide.
one. Yes. Okay. Yeah. And yeah, we can fix the sole with lace. Very nice. Or tie lace. Tie it with a lace. Yes. Wonderful. Yes, some thread kind of thing you could do. Now, let us move to the other picture. Here, this actually happened to a group of children who had been to the Himalayas recently, that the shoe got torn. And so, can you spot the odd one in this? You can again type in the chat window. Where do you see the odd?
From the girl who is standing beside the yellow thing.
Yellow, it's actually the road reflector over there. So yes, so if we just zoom it in. So what she has done, actually both her shoe sole came out one after the other. So like most of you told, she tied some thread like someone else's shoelace she borrowed and she tied it around for one. And for the second one, what she has done is she's put her shoes, removed the socks
And
and
tied with the rubber.
outside. So she's put the socks from outside. The shoe is inside because it is very cold. If you just wear the socks, it will get wet also in the eyes. But here she's tried a different methodology. So this is one way of doing things when they're not happening the way they should, right? Yeah. Let's move to the next slide.
I'll play this.
Yes. So here's a video for you. It's of a person who's made a Guinness record with just cards. He's been making construction. The screen is not yet shared. Yeah.
Number of reasons. One, it's just cool. Number two, it dispels all the rumors about falsities. So when I knock the house of cards down, it qualifies the work. It's kind of like when a composer dies, then their music becomes great. So for me, this house of cards here is everyone's favorite at the moment, but only when it is flat on the floor and dead and gone will it kind of be this great thing that everyone remembers. And it's because at that point it will have become legitimate, in the sense that it was proven to be real. So for me, the implosion is like the symbolic ending, completion of the project. You know, I'm always very critical of myself and like what my work ends up looking like. So I rush just to watch that happen, no matter which way it went. I will play some slots occasionally, you know, might throw a few bucks down on roulette just to do it. It's really hard to resist. However, growing up, I did play a lot of cards with my grandfather, the one who got me started stacking cards. But as far as me walking into a casino, sitting at a table for an evening, probably.
Deepa, is it enough?
Yeah. So here is the guy, yes, like someone told his name, Brian Berg. So he's made a Guinness record of making the tallest construction using more than 3 million cards. And he says the most, more than the fun of making it, it is when you crash it down. So this is, Lakshmi, can you go back to the PPT? So this is one model or one example where he goes on building. Every time he breaks it down and then he builds a higher tower, right? Lakshmi, can you share this, please? Yeah. Now we look at something different, but there is some commonality, and I would like you to think about what is common. So this is the tallest one that he has made Guinness record using 3 million cards. And here is another picture of a small grain of rice on which someone is able to write. If you have ever visited some of these tourist places, outside there will be people who would write your name on the rice and put it in a keychain and sell it. So you may have seen that, or if not also, some people even write Bhagavad Gita and all on the single grain of rice. So now between these two things, what commonality do you see? You can type in the chat window: creativity and talent, effort with patience. Yes. Anything else? Of course, this requires a lot of patience to do whatever work they both of them are doing. But there is one factor that is like common among the kind of work that they're doing. Talent and patience, yes. The small grain of rice also can be used to make a big structure. The thing that is common is that it starts with small part, effort needed to make it big. Yeah. So you're talking about big, small. So what is that? Yes, practice, patience, passion, everything is true. But I want to pick upon the control of hand. Yes, it has a very delicate work to be done. So when you say some, yes, very true. Both are on their extremes. Something which is very big and the other which is very tiny. So here we're dealing with something to do with the size. Yes. So now we will move to the next slide. So I'm just getting you familiar with a few thoughts and then we will all assemble it together. Okay. So one more video we will be playing for you, which is from a very famous movie. Some of you may have watched it. Lakshmi, no sound is coming. This is from the movie Gravity. where the spaceship has a problem and most of the members of the spaceship die except he has another spaceship outside, which is a Chinese spaceship. Where there she can save herself, but outside it is vacuum, so there's no medium for her to move from one spaceship to another. So she has something in her hand which is helping her to move from her spoiled spaceship to the other one. Can you identify what that is?
It's a fire extinguisher.
Fire extinguisher.
So how is that helping her?
I'm pushing in the opposite direction.
Exactly.
She's
Yeah.
pumping the
It is
extinguisher so that
creating
it
the
pushes the opposite direction.
Opposite direction.
Yes, yes.
We
The
both is applied
Newton's
in the
third
opposite
Newton's
direction, which
third law of
makes
motion.
Yes, exactly. Newton's third law. So here, the usual purpose of fire extinguisher is not what she is using it. She's making it a different use, right? Yeah. Lakshmi, next slide. So here we can see one more small video.
हाँ चलता हूँ सुख बांट बांट हाँ चलता हूँ सुख बांट तेरे जग में लब भर दूं टूटे दिल को कर दूं फिट फ्लॉप फिल्म को कर दूं हिट मैं जगन को मगन कर दूं गिरे को उठा दूं उठे को सुला दूं हाँ मेरा नाम है जुगाड़ हाँ मेरा नाम है जुगाड़ टूटे दिल को कर दूं फिट तो फिल्म को कर दूं हिट जो ना हो सके मैं वो कर दूं हाँ मेरा नाम है जुगाड़
Okay, maybe you would have watched this. So here, again, something similar to the previous video that we saw. It's called Jugaad in Hindi, which is just making use of something which is not meant to be used in that way, but for something else, right? Yeah. So that's one more aspect. And we move to the next part. So commonality between these two, I already mentioned to you that using something for some different purpose. Here is using a sofa seat to his scooter to fit 4 people whom he wanted to give the lift. Yes. Now we come to one more example where now it's most commonly available season of the like seasonal fruit, mango, and most people these days are selling mango boxes through online medium. But traditionally, it has been where it is manufactured, the farmers, they sell it to the retailers to the, farmers to the people who are buying it and getting it to the shop, then the shopkeepers to the consumer, right? So there is a chain which is involved, and each and every step there is some amount of their commission or their profit involved. So the actual cost from the farmer and the actual cost to the consumer there's a big difference because of the multiple layers that are present. So by eliminating or by removing certain elements, the cost could be reduced, right? Yeah. So organic mango per box, if at all it was sold originally for 319, it is very much possible that by removing certain elements, the cost, wholesale cost is reduced to 45 rupees. Why is it that the wholesale price is lower? Again, it is because of certain elements removed, right? Yeah. So manufacturer to the distributor to the retailer and then to the consumer versus going directly from manufacturer to the consumer can make a difference in the cost. Yeah, because of the middleman, packaging and shipping and all that. Yes. So any product for that matter, when you directly take it from the place where it is being manufactured, a lot of things can be, cost can be reduced. However, the practicality of that is again sometimes a question. Yeah. Okay. Move to the next part. So now that I have covered a few thoughts for you, we will come back to these again, but now with a name to it. If you remember on the very first day, we asked a couple of questions to you. If you had to pick another name for yourself, what would that be? Or if you had to replace the word doctor and apple in the phrase a doctor a day keeps the an apple a day keeps the doctor away. So in this, if you had to replace the two words, what would it be? If you remember those questions, what are we actually doing here is that we are trying to substitute one thing for another, and that is making a difference in the whatever you're doing. So if the same thing you could apply to an experiment where instead of using one thing, if you change it to something totally different, then the result could be a new thing, right? So that is one aspect of innovation. Next, we come back to this example where we talk today about, so this is substitute. Next, we come to the next part where we talked about using bread and curd or using paneer sabji with dosa. So here what we are doing, we are trying to relate the two unrelated, which never we usually do, but we are trying to combine it and see what is the taste or how is the effect of it. So some of you said that you have never tasted it. Some said you tasted certain things like dosa with Manchurian dosa. So what is the effect on the taste? Would you like to do it again or not? That decision factor. So here, this is combining. So the same concept could be used in an experiment where you're combining certain things which usually you have never done or not done and see the effect. Sometimes it could be good effect, sometimes it could be not so good, right? Yeah. Next part. Now the example of this shoe thing. Here, what is being done is there are some constraints. So being in the mountain, hilly region, we don't have access to a shop or we don't have the luxury of having a spare shoe. So in that situation, when something we want it to work in a certain way, what we do is we try to find newer ways of doing it. What else can we do if something is broken? Like yesterday night itself, actually, I am unable to share the screen today because I am actually traveling and I'm living in a like temporary setup right now. But still, yesterday night, there were so many mosquitoes. I had a mosquito net with me, but I didn't have places where I could tie it. So I had to, in the middle of the night, I had to think of creative ways of where all I could make the mosquito net stand so I could sleep. So the doorknob, the window grill, and one chair was here, so I tried to tie it to its legs. So that was a kind of adapting to the situation that you are to make a certain thing work. So that's one aspect which could be applied to an experiment. Usually we do that in our ThinkTac experiments. We tell if you don't have the materials that we have suggested, see if you can get an alternative material list. So that is where you're trying to adapt. And not only that, even like, yeah, so we'll talk about it further. So this is adapting to the situation. Next slide. Now we looked at this card example and the rice grain, and I asked you what is the commonality between it. And in addition to the patience, the talent, the effort, all that, there is one more aspect, that is the magnification or minification. The same thing, what Bhagavad Gita they can write on a piece of rice grain actually is written usually in a normal size. So making it small makes a difference, adds to the value or the glory of it, right? Even the card, making of the card, this person, he made one size, he broke it down, he made the next size, and he went on going. So he magnified what he created first, and that itself became a record. So if you think about it, the Guinness Book of World Record, all the things that people do, sometimes you feel that it is not actually adding any value as such, right? What's the use of someone growing nails long? They put so much of effort. But when they do that, that is something of surprise, and people feel that it is worth mentioning in the Guinness Book of World Record. So even when it comes to experiment, the same thing, if you make it big or small, it could have a different effect on the outcome of the experiment. Next slide. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
See here in this part, when we saw this particular video and this advertisement, what we saw here was the actual usage of the fire extinguisher is for something else, but the purpose for which it was used is different. She tried to use this fire extinguisher to navigate herself into the spaceship so that she is safe there. And here it's just some jugaad, what we call. Arav, did you say something?
Lakshmi, I'm back.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah, so sorry, I got disconnected. Shall I continue? You want to
Yeah, you continue. I just told them putting it
yes,
different
good.
purpose.
Yes, so here the two videos, it was the same item being put to a different purpose, put into another use for making something, solving some purpose so that it can be utilized in a certain way. So that is the jugaad, or here the fire extinguisher, which was used by this lady to move in the vacuum. Yes. So this also in the experiments, you could probably be doing that. So straw, usually what we do with a straw is we drink juice, but in our experiment, the water spray and many more experiments, we use straw for so many different things, right? So here we put something to a different use. Next. So even the question that we had on the first day, that is, if you have a comb but no hair, what would you do with the comb? So here also you're making use of the comb for a different purpose. The original purpose to comb your hair is not possible if you don't have hair. So what would you do with it? So you all had answered a lot of different answers. So thinking along that line is one of the aspects of doing experiments in a new way. Yes. Now coming to the elimination. Here we discussed this part already. So when you eliminate certain factors, then it could simplify, or in this case, in the mango example, it would reduce probably the cost. But in the case of experiments, it could be that certain things can get simplified. The same experiment could be made faster maybe, or could work more efficiently. So a lot of different factors could be affected by the elimination process, and that needs some thought of what could be eliminated where to make some function work better. Okay. And the last part is rearranging or reversing. So the same thing, if you do it in a different way. So rearrange, if the words are rearranged in a different way, then you get rare and anger. So you could do the same, suppose the same story is narrated in a different fashion. Some lines from the bottom go up and up goes down. It becomes a totally new perspective, new story. So that even one more example, there are several examples, I think, but one in English, the word impossible, if you do a little bit of rearrangement, it actually, that word itself says, I am possible. Or in Hindi, the spacing, sometimes just the spacing of the word or the commas where you put it could give a totally different meaning. So one example was like, Maro mat chodo. Maro mat chodo. But if you put the comma right after maro, what it becomes? Maro mat chodo. So the slight rearrangement could make the word totally a different one. So here, this rearrangement. So all these are techniques which actually, if you move to the next slide, Lakshmi, these together are called scamper, substitute, combine, adapt, magnify, put to another use, eliminate, reverse or rearrange. And this has been an old age technique. In 1970s itself, one guy came up with this methodology, and he trained his company people in the industry to create new products. How can new product be created? By doing these kind of possibilities, these methods. Okay. So they are just methods. Actually, scamper word itself means last minute doing something. So like maybe some presentation is there, and the last minute you're working to get everything in order. Kind of this cartoon strip of Kelvin also shows the same idea. So scamper for creativity. So scamper is a methodology that could be used to actually become more creative. And so these are 7 different thinking approaches. and which can help you to be creative and innovate new ideas and solutions. So now that we understood what this methods are, if I give you some common household item, like maybe a mask, now that COVID is almost getting over, and we all have in the last 2.5 years collected quite a lot of masks at home. So how would you use that mask, or how would you make any changes to the mask to make it into a new product? If you can think about it and put some of your thoughts in the chat window, we can have a short discussion, because this is actually taking you towards today's assignment to make a bag. But here, one more constraint, if I put, I don't want you to put it to another use. The P of the scamper, if we don't have that part, eye masks, yes. So making a bag, eye mask, that is just like that same thing we are using as a different thing.
I'll just
right?
show them these images, Deepa, just for
Yes.
when the P part in the scamper is being made use of, and
Yes.
the item is actually used for a different purpose. So what exactly we are meaning by that?
Yeah, that will help. So other than P, I want you to think from the scamper, everything else, and see what can the mask be made into. Yes, very nice. So here in the cycle, what is there?
The car steering gear.
Steering wheel.
Yeah, but here the steering wheel is there, but it's not, it is still the handle only. It's still working as a handle. And the brakes are the same of the cycle. Yeah.
Yes.
But it's a different use of the steering wheel. Yes. Next slide. Next picture.
Are you able to? Are you all able to see this?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is one more where the carton, the crate box is made similar to the jugaad that we saw, the advertise where the sofa was used.
Here the small baby, it might be scared to use the sparkler, but wants to use that. So father has designed a safety device for the child, making use of the bottle. He has cut that, and the sparkler is coming out of the cap, and now the hand is also safe and the child is also enjoying. So now the purpose of bottle is used in a different way, and this is again what we say is the creativity part. When the P part is taken care and something else is innovated or created. Here again in this, you can see the charger wire is less. I mean, the length is not so long enough to reach the ground or something. Then they have just come up with the idea that they have folded the paper and placed the mobile inside that, made a hole in that, and put it for charging. So the phone is also safe, though the paper usage is different. Here it's being used for a different purpose altogether. So here again, P is being the one which is tapped, you can say. So all these examples, what you saw was just an idea, and we want you all to, we can give you many ideas and many photos, images, videos can be shown. Till the time you think you start working on it, you will not get the real creativity out of you. So we just want you to make use of the scamper techniques. So I hope you remember that, SCAMPER. Even if you Google that, you will get details about that. So just today's assignment I've already pasted here, and it's about you have to choose any two out of the 7 techniques, SCAMPER. In that, which is that you like most, you write it down. Then the second question is, using those two which you liked, can you make use of some 2-3 items? For example, you have a pen, you have a bottle and a notebook. So using these three, you can create something that needs to be described in the second part. And you have 3 days for this, and maybe by Monday we should be having all the submissions. So think about it, come out with your ideas. You can use any 3 objects, any 2 or 3, and select any 2 from the techniques, which is your favorite, which you feel this is serving my purpose and for the creativity what you have on your mind. I hope this was clear. If you have any questions, you can just ask us.
No, ma'am.
Ma'am,
Yes, Reva?
tomorrow is a class.
No, tomorrow we don't have. We'll be back only on Monday. Same
Okay,
link,
ma'am.
same link,
Okay.
and Monday will be there. But see that before that you all submit your description about the scamper. See, for scamper,
Okay,
you
ma'am.
can just have a look in the Google. When you Google it, you will get the details.
Okay, ma'am.
Our main idea is that, we want you to think in a very simple way, yet come out with a good concept understanding model, so that you don't have to run around for looking for a particular item. Whatever is there, with that, can I make my own creation and yet understand, make people understand what is the concept you're trying to say. We don't want anything very big. Maybe when you make a small one, that should be again in the scalable part, we can think as magnifying one. So there are many ways to go around this camper itself. So first, let us start in the small way, then that can go in a different way altogether also. So start something fresh, new with your own ideas and give a try. Yeah, you can do that, Prisha. Okay. Anything else? Yes, Gauri, you can unmute and ask.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, can we make a video and then upload there in the second question?
For this, you don't need
By
the
creating
video.
new thing.
You don't need the video for this particular assignment. You can just, describe what is that you thought of, which are the 2 variables, and what is your description, the model, what you thought with those 3. See, for example, when you say scamper, that is substitute. Instead of the actual thing, can I substitute this with that? And if I combine with something, and that should be still adaptable to the usage, what I'm looking for. That should be modified, you should be able to modify, like magnify or reduce it also. And then the things you use are definitely put into different purpose, and yet you are able to get the required result, the purpose for what you were looking for. So if you just connect each and everything, maybe something different will come out, and see that what can be eliminated in your model so that it will not hamper the end result. Okay, there are 4 legs in the chair. Okay, let me eliminate 1 leg. Is that possible? No, that's not possible. Maybe the hands, arms, maybe resting arms, I can eliminate them, right? Like
Yes,
that.
ma'am.
So elimination should not hamper what you are actually thinking of the end result. Okay, try it out. Go through the scamper videos on YouTube. Maybe you'll get some ideas. And same technique you can apply to any place. It can be in your own studies. Maybe you're trying in one combination. You're always with your friend. You can try with a different friend, studying with him or her. Maybe it might increase your way of understanding. All these things to improve your own knowledge or come out with a creative idea. You can try these things. Okay. Is that clear? Shall we
Yes,
end the
ma'am.
session?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Meet you all on Monday. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Have a nice day.
Thank you,
Thank you,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Thank you. Bye.